It has a lot of different tools, and it comes in lots of different forms, and it can be confusing when I just give them to you all at once. So I've been introducing them to you slowly. So I have a new supply that I'm gonna teach you about today. It's called vine charcoal or willow charcoal, because it's literally a burnt stick from a willow tree or a willow vine. Okay. And the reason I love willow charcoal is because it's so easy to erase. Sometimes if it's super soft, you can erase it with your fingers. But it does erase really well with just an eraser. You probably have noticed the other charcoal doesn't erase very well, right? So it's great for sketching out because you can erase it. And it's really good for just laying in some like initial value. And it's not too dark or too permanent, okay? So we're going to talk about sketching the face. And I need to pause my music, sorry. Okay. All right, so can I get eyes on the screen, please? Pencils down, sketchbooks closed. Eyes on the screen, please. Pencils down, sketchbooks closed, eyes up here. Okay, so I want to cover some things that everyone has completely different animals, so you're going to have different drawing problems, but hopefully I'm going to cover some things that will help everyone. So first off, pay attention to which orientation your paper needs to go. If your picture is landscape, then your paper needs to be turned landscape, okay? Second of all, I'm going to notice how close things are to the edge of the paper. That kind of helps me get oriented. A lot of kids, when they start drawing, end up with a lion face like this big. So if I pay attention how close things are to the edges, it gives me a sense of scale. Like, okay, this is big. And then, let's see, angles are really important here for drawing an animal's snout or other things you might encounter. Double check some main angles, like down the nose is a really good angle. You can also draw with straight lines first. Okay, so I'm drawing a chin, this kind of jawline, this part of the snout. Okay, all right, when you're drawing something from an angle and they're not looking at you straight on, this eye is going to be really small. Look at how it fits in this little pocket between the nose and the edge of the face. Okay, so I want to make sure I have that distance correct, so then my eye just fits in that little pocket, okay? And then I know, all right, my eye's going to go in there somewhere, okay? All right, and then you want to pay attention to if the eyes are like even to each other or if they're at an angle. So are mine level or are they at an angle? They're at an angle. So this eye is going to be higher up than this one. It's just because of the angle. Okay, now you're going to get caught up in a lot of like, I don't know how to draw that eye. It's like this big, huge shadow area, and it's like weird blobs and stuff. Don't get caught up in the details. Just try and get a main sketch of where things are. So you need a nose, you need eyes, you need a mouth, ears, that kind of stuff. That's all you really need right now, okay? And now that I have everything in the right spot, I can... So one thing as an amateur artist does is an amateur artist gets really caught up in a lot of erasing, okay? And they're so self-conscious about how they're drawing and that they spend all their time erasing and trying to get it perfect, where me or a skilled artist or an experienced artist doesn't get so worried about like erasing every little mistake. I know there's going to be mistakes along the way, and I'm okay with that. Okay, I just redraw over it, or I can quickly kind of smear it out. But if you feel like you have to erase, it does erase it if you made like a major mistake. Okay. All right. Another thing an amateur artist does is they judge prematurely. So some of you would look at this and be like, "My lion looks like a spawn of Satan. It's a demon." Okay. Me, I know, like, okay, maybe it's not perfect. I'm going to critically look at it and see what needs to be different about it so it looks better. I'm not judging it. Judging isn't helpful. I'm just kind of critiquing it to see what needs to be different. So, and I know it's never gonna look as good when it's not shaded yet, okay? It's just an outline. So I just wanna make sure things are in the right place. Do you guys see any changes I could make as far as like getting things in the right place or the right shape, like distances and angles? Anything that looks wonky? No? It's perfect? Hunter? Yeah, so I could add more detail. But before I add more detail, is there anything that needs to move its place? Like any sizes or distances that are off? No? Good? Yeah. Okay. Personally, I feel like this eye could move left a tiny bit. So if it were me, I'd move it over a bit. Okay, and that's all you really need at first. That's probably as far as we'll get today. I just didn't finish coloring this in. You don't really need to color in anything, but if it helps you to like block in things that are dark, you can, okay? When you get to that point, you can set it aside and continue on your warm-up. And I'm going to be walking around and helping people one-on-one. Now, let's talk about work time in art class.